Karen demands I give exam answers to his child and threats to have me kicked out of my college. On mobile and first-time poster here. For context, I'm soon graduating college. But where I live we need to complete what is referred to as social service hours. Basically work in a project related to your mayor. For mine I was helping in a program to teach English for free to students. Since this program was free and technically we weren't actually grading the students, many sometimes wouldn't pay attention. Especially since classes were online. I tried making my class as entertaining as I could. It was small, only 12 students. Mind you, I was just one of the college students that were participating in this program as teachers. This program was not created by my college and were given all teaching materials. But the last test was actually going to be in person with the people who were organizing the program in the first place. The surprise for the students came when they were told that for the last test, in order to get the diploma that proved they completed the English program, was going to be graded and they needed at least a 50 out of a 100 to pass. I informed the students and for the most part most of the teens, 15 to 17-year-olds, were doing fine. We had been working together for about 16 weeks by now. But out of my class of 12 there was this student we had some difficulties with. Let's call him Mike. He is not a bad kid, but since the beginning he made it clear that he didn't want to learn English. He wanted to learn French. Later on after what happened with his mother I even learned that at one point he almost got a scholarship to study in a school that teaches French as a second language, but his mom sent him to a smaller school that is well known for teaching English. But he was struggling so that's why he was in this classes. After the announcement that the last test was going to be graded I told the class that if they would like, we could do some extra sessions. Now, this was something extra I offered, not from the program, mostly because I had the free time and the fact that they were going to be graded for the program. Out of 12, 11 joined the extra classes. I guess you might have an idea by now who didn't join. By now we are 2 weeks away from that final test when I first started getting contacted by Mike's mom, Karen. At first she seemed like a concerned mom, but the mask soon slipped. By now the extra classes I had gives had stopped because I no longer had that extra time because of my job. I told her as such and she went nuts saying how I needed to find the time and teach her son. All of this over the phone. And yes, since the classes were online. The parents had my phone number because we communicated through WhatsApp. I tried being reasonable and said that if they could come up with the topics he needed help with, I'll try to help him, and also with the condition there was a parent present. I didn't want any misunderstandings or someone thinking we didn't study. Fast forward to then extra classes. Mike would connect and his aunt was always in the background, but he was trying to fit almost 16 weeks worth of lessons in less than 2 weeks. By the time it was 1 week before the exam was when I started receiving the calls from Karen. I couldn't answer most of them because I was working. Apparently that pissed her off more because she started leaving me messages accusing me of ignoring her. In the end, in the span of a day she called me 24 times while I was in my job. After I finished my shift I called her back because I thought something bad had happened. Nope, she just started yelling at me, then the saying that I was a bad teacher, the demanding that I just share the final test answers because Mike needed to have that diploma. I tried telling her that I didn't have the test results. And even if I did, obviously I couldn't just share them. That's when Karen went crazier and started saying how she was going to make sure I got expelled from college because I was ruining her son's future. She also started saying how she was going to tell everyone that I was asking her son for extra classes just to spend time with him. Thankfully my college director and the teacher in charge of connecting us with the people from the project knew about this extra classes and even encouraged us to give them if we had the free time. In the end I hung up on her but couldn't block her just yet because any news we got that we had to share with the parents was done through texts. In the end I took a screenshot of her threats and sent them to my teacher in charge and the person from the program I communicated with. Karen was given a stern talking to and was told that the day of the exam she was not allowed to take her son. Someone else had to take him to the place of the exam, and also that her son was going to be getting observed more often to ensure he wasn't cheating. I had to endure Karen bothering me for the rest of the week because she was still the main contact for Mike even after everything, so I was so happy to finally block her after giving the last instructions for the day they were having the exam. Basically they were divided in groups and a teacher from the program took care of them. Later from this teacher that took care of my former students, I found out that Karen did try to spread rumors I was a bad teacher and a creep, but since the other students did quite well in my classes, none of the other parents complained and actually were on my side. Then also apparently she tried getting in contact with my college to complain, but that was shot down. Also from this teacher was that I learned that Mike wanted to learn French, not English. Sorry for the rambling and the long post. It's 2 a.m. I'm finally done with college and I don't have anyone to rant with. TLDR, I volunteered to teach English. Teens need to pass a test to get a diploma. Karen blames me and tried to make me give her the answers and harasses me.